Everybody, what's up? I wanted to talk about terrorism in America. I want to address that. When many people think of terrorists, they think of Al Qaeda. Actually, Al Qaeda is just an organization of freedom fighters. When you think about it, we invaded their country. We declared war on them. And just started bombing them one night. And of course Al Qaeda's going to fight back. They are they're a patriotic organization for their country, for Iraq, the Middle Eastern countries. And that sounds a little strange to probably a lot of you because you're like, how can they be patriotic? Well, they are patriotic. Actually, they were started by the CIA in the 1970s to fight off the Russians who were invading Afghanistan at the time. Al Qaeda is a CIA owned, run, operated, and trained organization. Um, Bin Laden was on the CIA payroll and was trained by the CIA. And he was on the payroll up until 9/11, 2001. So the, Al Qaeda, Al Qaeda's kind of like the boogeyman under the bed. If we don't go to war, the boogeyman's going to get you. If we don't let TSA molest children at airports, the boogeyman's going to get you. If you don't let big government take over everybody's lives and enslave everybody and let corporations get away with mass genocide, Al Qaeda's going to get you. That's all Al Qaeda is really, is a scare tactic. They really are no harm to us. They're patriots. They were trained to fight off the Russians out of their country. Now they're using that training to fight off our soldiers out of their country. Our soldiers, out of their country that invaded their country. So we can't really blame Al Qaeda for defending their country. I mean, we would do the same thing. We would defend our country. If China invaded tomorrow, of course we would shoot them. We're not just going to welcome them with open arms. We're going to shoot at them. So anyway, Al Qaeda is a patriotic organization for their country. Uh, when you think about 9/11, a lot of people that's what they'll use to try and justify 9/11 or Al Qaeda's so-called terrorist acts of 9/11. Well, if Al Qaeda did commit the acts of 9/11, I would say you're right. They are terrorists. If they did that, then I would say, well, they are a criminal organization. But they didn't do that. At least not in my opinion. The CIA did it. There's a lot of proof, that backs that the CIA was involved. Look at all the corporations that had so much to gain from the Twin Towers falling and Building 7 being blown up. All their corporate documents were in there. All their shady deals were in there. And mysteriously, it just, goes up in smoke. That means they get off the hook for anything they've done. Because it's no longer on record. So... And when you look at that video of the firefighter or the policeman saying, "Get back, everybody get back, they're going to blow it." Well, he's talking about Building 7. And then later the government will come out and deny it and deny it and deny it that they ever said that. But then when the video went, viral, the video was everywhere, they couldn't really deny it anymore because there it was on video. So they had to come out with a cover story. And they had the most ridiculous cover story I've ever heard. They said that or they didn't actually officially admit to it. They said that Building 7 might have been blown up. Or they didn't use the word blow up. They said might have, fallen. They chose an operative word because it was getting in the way of the towers falling. What? That doesn't make any sense at all. Think about that. It's getting in the way of the towers falling? Okay. Anyway, And if you go back and watch the footage of the first plane going into the Twin Tower, the first tower, you'll quickly find that something really doesn't make a lot of sense. The plane crashes in from the side, but there's a camera view of the other side of the building at the same time, which also ignites into fire. You know, you don't, I mean, I can't say for sure because I wasn't there, but you know, that sounds very much like an explosion to me. And people will say, well, yeah, it was the plane exploding. Well, the plane exploding doesn't explain, you know, how all the top floors exploded. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. The plane exploding still would not explain the whole building collapsing. Okay? It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, you know, and the way the buildings fell. Anybody that's seen a demolition tape, they fell the same. The buildings fell the same way, just, you know, straight down. I mean, floor after floor after floor. You know, they had to be blown. And Building 7 was definitely blown. You know, the corporations had so much to gain from it. You know, and then, you know, our government goes over there and claims that we're liberating those people, even though our government actually put, you know, many of the dictators in the Middle East in power. You know, we go over there and liberate, you know, those people. You know, and the crazy thing is we put, you know, their dictator in power. But yeah, we're going to go over there and, you know, help them overthrow him. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You know, and you have, you know, just nowadays, 10 years later, after the terrorist attacks, so-called, you know, you've got crazy things going on. Government's bigger than ever. Corporations are getting away with genocide on a mass scale. You know, you've got national security, which is really a terrorist organization, in my opinion, cracking down on people's lives. They've got, you know, there's reports that they've got files of everybody. You've got FEMA camps spreading up all over the place, which are really just death camps. They've got mass amounts of, and you can look this up on video, guys. They have videos of these camps with piles and piles of coffins. Okay? I mean, you know, they're not getting ready for a tea party, guys. You know, it's not going to be, you know, a slumber party that they're getting gearing up for, okay? So you have our government, you know, doing all these things and you know, engaging in all these corrupt acts, and rather than come out and explain to us why those FEMA camps are there, why those coffins are there, you know, why all these things are happening, they would rather come out and lie and deny they ever existed. One of the governors, I think it was the governor of Tennessee, you know, he was the major signer on the bill for the FEMA camps, and he denies ever even reading the bill. So who knows if he actually signed it or if his signature was forged? You know, who knows? But I mean, it's just mass madness going on in America. Just mass madness. Yeah. So the real heroes in America are the American Resistance Movement. You know, and I'm a member of that organization. You know, because we stand for the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the United States Constitution, the Bill of Rights. You know, we believe in small government. We believe government should leave people alone and let them enjoy their liberties and the fruits of their labor. You know, and I see this big government as a threat. You know, I mean, you know, what do they want to? You know, why do they want to know what I do in my life? What do they know? What do they want to know what I'm doing for? You know, what do they want to know what I'm doing on Friday nights? It's none of their business what I'm doing. I'm a free individual, you know, I'm a free human being, and I have inalienable rights. It's none of the government's business, you know, how much I make in a year, or, you know, where I'll live, or, Do I pay property taxes? It's none of their business. You know, this country was based, on the hopes that, it would be a truly free republic. And of course, all governments over time deteriorate into a tyrannical state. Because unfortunately, over time, the people get lazy and slovenly, and they just don't pay attention. Which is what's happening in America. You've got the downfall of civilization. You've got government on the rise. You've got government now claiming that Girl Scouts have to have a license to do what they do, and just crazy things. What else crazy is going on? The Amish, they're really coming down hard on Amish people lately because they're making money and they're self-reliant, which is what all Americans are supposed to be. We're supposed to be self-reliant. And we fought a revolutionary war for self-government and self-reliance. And many people in the United States, including me, believe that we have not fully won that war yet because our government is so treasonous and is branching out, to become such a powerful enemy of the people rather than a government of the people. So the United States government is very quickly becoming an enemy, to not only the people of the United States, but to the world. They're becoming very dangerous, and someone's going to have to stand up to them pretty soon, or God only knows what they're going to do. So let's look at the terrorist organizations in the United States of America. We've got the, national security, they're terrorist organizations. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, which is the FBI, they're a terrorist and a legal organization because it's illegal for the United States government to have any, police officers technically or any law enforcement directly, answering to them or directly working for them. Law enforcement is supposed to work for the people, the individual cities and states, and so on and so forth. We've got the CIA, which are a bunch of drug-running, scum, pretty much. I'll go into the CIA more in the next video. They've done a lot of dirty things, but anyway, those are the terrorist organizations in the United States. And the real heroes in the United States, are the American resistance movement, and people like that. That are standing up for the United States Constitution and the true America, that stands for small government, human rights, inalienable human rights, and sees this large government power and encroachment into our everyday lives from the government as a threat. I see it as a big threat. The federal government has no right to be spying on me or to know what I do in my life. It's none of their business. That is a threat to me as a human being. Anyway, I'll continue this in another video. Part 2, I guess. These are my political views. So, long live liberty. Stay free out there. Peace, love. I love y'all.